Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Disney Doofs live podcast, episode number 4, coming to you from Orlando, Florida, sunny Orlando, Florida, and very cold Canada.
Very cold.
Very cold. This is Doof Ethan, okay, and we have a Doof Alex with us tonight from cold Canada, yeah, and
Yeah.
George could not make it tonight due to unforeseen circumstances. But don't worry, he'll be back next week for you. So, let's get into the news. I know there really hasn't been too much to talk about this week, but we're gonna try to drag out some things. But yeah, the biggest news story probably of this week is obviously the Super Bowl and Mr. Tom Brady and crap, I forgot Edelman is his
Julian
last name.
Edelman.
Julian's that's his first name. Um yeah, they went to Disney World the day after they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, gotta love the tradition, right?
Yeah, I think it's a great promotion and yeah, tradition also. So, Corvin, I know you know a lot about the Super Bowl. How about you
Yeah.
talk about this segment for us today?
All right, sure. Well, it's funny because every year it's always like, who's gonna be MVP? Because it's usually the MVP that goes to Disney World the next day. And so it's like the wide receiver was the MVP this year, which I mean happens sometimes, but it's not the most obvious or most common one you see. So for both Edelman and Brady to go was pretty cool. And I mean, the video that they had on, I think it was Twitter by ESPN, they're having a lightsaber battle,
Yeah,
all that stuff,
I
and
got
then they
that
moved.
in
Yeah,
the next this slide. Yep, right here.
exactly, because they did Slinky Dog Dash, and then they had that lightsaber battle, and then they moved over to Magic Kingdom, where
Mhm.
they had some really cool pictures, and it was like they were empty around them, basically.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, this is the lightsaber picture, and then we have the Slinky Dog Dash picture right here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. They did take a lot of cool pictures around the place. Um,
Yeah.
and then of course they did have the big parade, which I believe is
Yes.
the next one. Yep,
Because
right
they're
here.
with Mickey.
Yeah, I love it. I know I was reading an article. I forget which news source it was from, but they said that the person who came up with this idea was actually Michael Eisner's wife.
Yes.
She supposedly they went out to dinner with some guy, and they said um so I think I think he was a tennis player. They went out to dinner with the
Oh
tennis player,
yeah.
and they asked, where are you going after the match? Because he had like a match that day, and he said, let's go to Disneyland. And she was like, that would be a great marketing campaign if you, right after like someone wins something, um, someone says, hey, we're going to Disneyland or Disney World or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah, it's an excellent marketing campaign. Sorry, guys. I'm just seeing if that, yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that's really the biggest news story today, but we do have a few other things. So let's get to the next topic, which should be pretty interesting. The new Tangaroa Terrace. Well, not new. It reopened. Believe they renovated it, made a little more seating, and they redid the menu somewhat. So it opened this past week at Disneyland Hotel, and according to the Disney Parks blog, after an exciting refurbishment, the fast casual restaurant has a vibrant new look, expanding offerings, and is back and serving up made-to-order dishes, signature tiki cocktails, Dole Whip, and more. So here's some pics of the renovated inside of the restaurant. Now, I've never been to the Disneyland Hotel before, but supposedly this restaurant is near Trader Sam's, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, if I remember properly, although I haven't been there in a little bit, this is inside and like from this picture actually where you see the pool, if you go out those doors at that far end and hook a left, you hit Trader Sam.
Yeah. So actually, and a couple other people were talking to me, and they were like, why don't they just make Tangaroa Terrace and Trader Sam's? Why don't they just merge the two and just create a whole big huge Trader Sam's? Because supposedly they're like really close to each other, but that's another story for another time. Night of Evon Blade audio is a thumbs up. Thank you very much. Yeah, we tried to fix the audio.
Yeah, after last week.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, I've noticed my mic was a little high, so I figured out how I should lower it, like how much I should lower it. So hopefully it's good right now. But
But I mean, that's an interesting point about just making this one big Trader Sam's. 'Cause I mean, Trader Sam's in Disney World is tiny.
yeah,
Like
it's really tiny.
small.
Yeah.
Like guaranteed wait every time.
It's the size of an arcade at the resort because that's where the old arcade at the Polynesian used to be.
What a fun random stat there. Or
Yeah,
like
I remember
detail.
that arcade. They
Of
took
course,
it
of
away
course,
from
you
me.
remember the arcade.
They took it away from me. Yeah,
Yeah, but right, make this just a giant one. That'll help deal with demand.
yeah. But so Tangaroa Terrace, they introduced a new dining option. So I'm gonna go through them. So of course, this restaurant is inspired by the Tiki Room. It has kind of like a Polynesian flair, but it's like pan Asian, like it's a mixture of American and Asian food, which it's still all good. Um, so here's some of the breakfast offerings they have. So they have let's see what these are. This is the bottom right corner is the Tangaroa toast, which looks really good. It's a brick toast that comes coated in cinnamon sugar and topped with bananas, Foster, whipped cream, bananas, and toasted coconut.
It looks like the knockoff Tonga toast.
Yeah, it looks. It actually, yeah, I think it's the same thing, honestly.
Yeah.
The Acai Chia breakfast bowl with seasonal fruit and granola is up on the top left. I don't know. I'm not that healthy, so I probably wouldn't get that.
You're not about that health crazed life.
No, especially when I'm at Disneyland or Disney World.
Yeah, exactly. You're on vacation, right?
Yeah. The bottom left is that pineapple upside down pancakes. Those do sound pretty good. Kind of remind me of that pineapple toast or pineapple bread at Ohana's at the Polynesian. And there's a breakfast sandwich.
It actually looks pretty good.
It has Kahlua style pulled pork, fried egg, hash browns, and gravy on top. So those look pretty appetizing. The next option we have is for some of the lunch and dinner appetizers, and lunch and dinner is the same menu, so not.
That looks like a knockoff poutine in the top corner.
That's you would like it because it is a poutine. So let's see here. The top left one is the Kahlua style poutine, which is crispy crinkle fries topped with pork, cheese curds, gravy, pickled onions, and Fresno chilies. That sounds good.
I'm sold. Yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah. Let's see. And I think the top right are chili garlic edamame. Actually, no, I'm wrong. They are the panko crusted long beans served with a togarashi aioli. That looks good. Kind of like the fried string beans at TGI Fridays a little, kind of.
Yep.
And you have your standard pot stickers on the bottom left, pork gyoza. And then on the bottom right, it's nachos. So the shipwreck nachos topped with Kahlua style pulled pork, pineapple salsa, hoisin sauce, togarashi aioli, and barbecue sauce. So,
Ooh, sounds pretty good.
yeah, out of these four that are shown right here, I would probably go for the fries or the nachos.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too.
They look pretty appetizing. So the next two things we have today are the chili garlic edamame. Those look pretty good. And there's also fried spam musubi with teriyaki sauce. I'm not
I don't
sure.
know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that. So it looks like it's kind of like a rice cake.
Yeah, I thought it was. It looks like rice for sure.
With spam in the middle, then it's wrapped in seaweed, breaded and deep fried.
I don't know. That's weird.
I don't think I've probably had spam before, but unknowingly. Like I know my friend works in a Chinese takeout place, and they put spam in their fried rice. So and he said a lot of places do that, but I probably had it that way. But I don't think I've ever just had spam before. But look, I mean, Disney wouldn't put it on the menu if it didn't taste good. So I would give it a try. Real quick, I know a Knight of Ebon Blade pointed out that Tangaroa and Sam's are two completely different experiences. The quality of Sam's is assisted by its exclusivity and theming. Tangaroa is meant to be a quick service restaurant. It's like comparing the French Market to Blue Bayou. Oh,
yep.
All right.
Fair.
All right. So yeah, I think so. Tangaroa has a quick service counter, and it also has sit down. Like there's a sit down option too, I believe, right?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a mix of the two. But let's go to our next entrees. I'm going through like I had to put all these in here because everything looks really good.
Oh, it all looks amazing.
Yeah, so the top left right there is the lentil garden bowl. Brown rice, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, onions tossed in a coconut curry. To the right of that is the Tangaroa salad with sauteed shrimp. Looks just like your standard mixed greens with just shrimp on top. And then we have the Angus third pound Hawaiian cheeseburger served with grilled pineapple, applewood smoked bacon, Havarti cheese, togarashi aioli. They like using that togarashi aioli a lot, and teriyaki sauce. Yeah, it's been in like every single thing. But you know,
that burger looks big.
Yeah, it looks good. Pineapple on top of burger? I don't know, but I mean, I'd try it.
Yeah, I've seen pineapple burgers a couple places. I've never gotten one, but they seem kind of common.
Yeah, so the next slide we have shows off some of the kids stuff, which look pretty nice. You have those pineapple upside down pancakes on the top left, and then they have the Mickey shaped Tangaroa toast on the right of that. And then underneath you just have, your salmon bowl and your little mini cheeseburger. So
those still look pretty good and like decent kid sizes.
Yeah. So, and then you can't go to Tangaroa Terrace and not get your Dole Whip. So, were you gonna say something real quick? Or?
No, just like you gotta get that Dole Whip anytime you can get it.
Anytime. So the restaurant also offers a newly enhanced marketplace for grab-and-go pastries and snacks, specialty coffees, pineapple Dole Whip soft serve, Dole Whip floats, and Dole Whip floats with a splash of rum, plus a full bar of island cocktails. And now mobile ordering is available at this location as well, so if you're on the go, you can enjoy the convenience of ordering and paying for your meal via the Disneyland Resort app.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, so Tangaroa Sam's, they just went through this refurbishment. They got a couple new menu items. I don't believe they redid the entire menu, but these are the new items they added to it. But the place seems pretty nice. I definitely want to head over there next time I go to Disneyland. I've never been to the Disneyland hotel. I've been to Disneyland and DCA, but never to the hotel. So definitely
missing out.
Yeah. Have you ever been to the hotel?
I've been to the hotel for the various dining options, but I've not stayed in that hotel.
Yeah. The hotel is kind of like the equivalent to like the Contemporary at Disney World, right?
Yeah, same idea.
Yeah. So our next topic, guys, is, let's see, I forgot. Oh, the Where's Buzzy report. So
oh no.
yeah, so George usually does this report, but since George isn't here, I'll take it over for him. So
right.
For today, February 8th, 2019, as of 8:16 p.m., Buzzy is still not confirmed to be found. Yeah, sorry about that.
Where's Buzzy? Who knows?
Yeah, Buzzy could either be in someone's attic, in someone's private collection somewhere, or in just behind the Cranium Command auditorium wall. That's probably the most likely thing. It's probably in the warehouse.
Or in some Imagineer's office.
Yeah, that was.
What is it? It's in that Main Street Electrical Parade warehouse there.
Yeah.
Commercial.
Yeah, that did drop 2 weeks or so ago. I think. Who was it? Was it Chief or Hoot?
Hoot.
Yeah, because Chief died. Yeah. So, rip Chief. Hoot said on a podcast that Buzzy was actually taken by Imagineering or maintenance, and the maintenance.
One of those two.
Yeah, they didn't tell PR or whatever. They called the cops, and it's a whole mess now. But that's not confirmed, so the Buzzy report is staying.
We get the Buzzy report until we hear hard evidence.
Yeah, we need hard evidence. So, our next topic of the night. Oh yes, Disney's Riviera Resort. So, yesterday, the Disney Parks blog shared a new dining concept, it's a dining concept for the Riviera Resort. It is going to be called the Voyageurs Lounge, and that's going to be located next to the Le Petit Cafe, which is the kind of like the quick service food court of the Riviera Resort. And they say it's most of the info is in the video, so the link is in the description below, so go check out that link. It's on the Disney Parks blog, but they say in the article that you'll be able to experience an artful little gathering place where you can relax and share your favorite vacation memories with family and friends. And it'll feature decor inspired by a collection of book titles that Walt Disney gathered, including Walt's 1935 European Grand Tour. And this lounge will showcase some of our unique Disney connections to Europe. So, yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, this hotel is going to be interesting. It's going to be European themed, so this does fit the theme. Real quick, here, 1 sec. I was going to reference an article that came out yesterday. I'm trying to look for it real quick because I believe it had some stuff about the menu of the establishment.
Oh wow, the menu's already out for it?
I think they mentioned what, in a general sense, what it was going to be. Actually,
whether it was Italian or French sort of thing.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm looking at it right now. It's the same. It's the same thing as the Parks blog. So, Yeah, I mean, I would imagine that this lounge would have like Italian, French, like Riviera themed tapas,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
Like,
agree.
yeah, you're gonna have your bar stuff, but probably probably around
A,
10 or 10
a fair mint,
15
yeah.
little shared plates. So maybe like a pizza or from like Italy, or some escargot from France, or a crepe, who knows.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but and Spain also. So there's a lot of cool options. There's a lot of variety of food on the Mediterranean Riviera. So our next one is Phantom Manor, which,
Yes.
yes, this has been a long time awaiting. I love Phantom Manor. My favorite version of Haunted Mansion.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's so cool. Like, though people sometimes don't like it because of like the western part of it, and that's not even the reason why like I love it so much. Yeah, that's cool, but what I really love about this ride is the soundtrack. Oh,
Mm, true.
that take on like Grim Grinning Ghosts and the
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion theme is
I
unparalleled.
like how scary it is.
Yeah, it's a little scarier than the
Yeah.
normal, and the facade is my favorite too. I
Yeah,
I like
definitely.
it better than Disneyland, Disney World, Tokyo
Well, and they have
Disneyland.
some really cool effects in it. So, like, on the second floor there, those shutters, they actually move as if it was in the wind.
Hmm.
They're controlled, and around the side, one of the windows occasionally pops open to show the Phantom, like we have for the Evil Queen at Disneyland Snow White.
Hmm.
So there's some really nice details, even just outside the attraction.
Yeah, they have a lot of space there, so
Yeah,
it kind of, I feel like it's more realistic there
yeah.
as it is in
Plus, they have that Dream
Disneyland.
Finder
Or
animatronic.
yeah. So, anyways, we're on Phantom Manor because, as many of you know, Phantom Manor at Disneyland Paris has has gone through a massive refurbishment. They closed it last January, so it's been
Yeah, I was gonna say
closed
it's been
for,
over a year.
yeah, over a year, January 2018. Um, and it was supposed to open like last November, but
Yeah, it was
it's been
November.
delayed. It was like delayed to January, and now it's even delayed more, and there isn't a set date until now. So it appears that someone on Instagram, Insta Disney Dust, posted a picture of, looks like a refurbishment schedule in French, showing all the different dates of like when everything's getting refurbished, when attractions are opening, stuff like that. And supposedly it says, if you look at the that Frontierland section on the bottom, says Phantom Manor. Uh, I don't know French, but it seems like it says reopening 11th of May 2019.
May.
Yeah, so
Wow.
um,
Wow. Last
so
I heard was like mid-February.
yeah, this is not
What is
official.
happening in there?
I really hope they aren't changing it like a lot. Look,
To be close,
I'm
I
perfectly
mean, it's not
fine.
open till May.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine if they're taking their time and they're really putting quality, like uh, a quality effort towards renovating, because it did need a nice refurbishment, but not changing it. So
It
I'm a little
definitely needed a
scared.
refurb, but I mean, at this point, not opening till May. That's a year, almost a year and a half. That's 16 months.
Hmm. Yeah, it's interesting, interesting. Hopefully, nothing gets like changed in there. I suppose,
I
actually, no.
mean,
I heard that I think this is confirmed, that the host of the attraction is changing back to the original uh, host's voice. I think his name is Vincent Price,
yeah.
because they took him out a couple years after the attraction opened, but they're bringing him back. Um,
Yeah, it'll be interesting
Yeah,
to see what all has changed.
yeah,
Because that's a long time.
it's a long time. It's good. I was going to actually. We were thinking about going to Paris in UK. Not last December. It was actually it was in last spring. So Phantom Manor would have been closed, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't go. But
Fair. It was
um
it's a lot of fun.
yeah, that's one of the that and Big Thunder there are
Oh,
like the
they have the
two,
best thing.
yeah, the two attractions that are like similar but different that I want to go on really bad there.
Plus, you can see Ratatouille.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a lot of cool stuff there. And I know since Disney has taken over, they're pouring money back into the park because they know it's been kind of mistreated over the past 20 years or so.
yeah, Base Mountain. There's a lot of good ones over there.
Yeah. So our next segment of the night. Let's see. Oh, we have the meme of the week. So, um, Alex, why don't you run us through this one tonight?
All right. So it's a simple meme. It's just two guys. Clearly, they're not a fan of each other in the first panel. Dumbo, the flying elephant, and the Astro Orbiter. Two pretty common spinning flat rides. And so, they by the third panel there, they agree. It's like, hey, we're both spinning flat rides, but we can work together. We can be friends. And then they turn to look at just an absolute abomination, which of course is the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. Which, I mean, it's just not a great ride. If we're talking about good spinning flat rides, that's definitely the lowest of the three. And I mean, don't even get me started on Triceratops Spin. But I mean, this was just for Magic Kingdom.
Yeah. Why do people hate Aladdin so much? Like, I don't get it. Is it because of
It's
its
just,
like location and how it kind of screws up like traffic
I mean,
wise?
its location. It's just, I don't. It feels weaker of the three to me. I don't know why, but it's
But
like,
it tilts.
yeah, it's just, I don't know. Just something about it. It's the weakest.
I know like this isn't just you. Like a lot of people don't like Aladdin, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Like whenever I go to the parks, which in a couple times a year, um, I just skip all of these because they're
Yeah,
just
the only one of those three that I'll ever do is Dumbo.
yeah,
It's classic.
it's not worth the wait for
No,
most of the time. Dumbo doesn't usually have too long of a wait because of the capacity it has now with the two carousels. But I don't know. I mean, I've been on all the three. I never thought like Aladdin was too bad because it tilts. It's that one
I
tilts.
think
The other
like
ones don't. Ooh.
Astro Orbiter, you're very high.
Yeah,
There's the appeal of that.
I think that's the
Dumbo,
coolest one, and I think Astro Orbiter
yeah,
spins a little faster, doesn't it? It
it
seems
could.
like it does.
And I mean, that could be it actually does, or just the height of it. Dumbo, I mean, it's like the classic one. You got all that, like the play area and all that stuff too. And then Aladdin's just like, eh, throw it down in the middle of Adventureland in the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The only other suspended I guess carousel type ride like that is at Animal Kingdom, at least in
Triceratops
WDW.
Spin,
Yeah.
which is the worst of the four.
Yeah. I know. I know Universal has two. King and Kodos
Oh,
and One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish. Those
yeah.
are the only other two I can think of.
Yeah, you don't see spinning flat rides that much anymore.
Yeah, kind of
Like
old.
as Dumbo ones, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there is
And now
that.
you see the swirling saucer style.
Yeah, I like it. The ones at Universal. They're themed pretty well. I mean,
Yeah.
and also there's that one at Universal Hollywood at the Despicable Me area, kind of like themed to
Oh,
the Super Silly Funland.
right. I always forget about that one.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I mean, it's built on top of a parking garage. But anyways, let's. That's a very good meme of the week, Alex. Let's
Thank you.
get to the next topic, though, which is going to lead into our blue sky of the night, which is the new Coco entertainment at the Mexico Pavilion at Epcot.
Yes.
So, let's pretend this story with some of the rumors, I guess, that have led up to Coco having some presence at the Mexico Pavilion, and then we'll talk about what is coming, which is this entertainment offering, and then after that we can blue sky what we would want more, or where would we want, like, or what we would want to do with Coco. So
Right.
basically, ever since the movie came out, Coco has been rumored to come to the Mexico Pavilion and take
Oh, it's
over
been the most heavily rumored thing I can think of
yeah
since Frozen.
yeah since Frozen. It's been rumored to take over the Three Caballeros boat ride inside the pavilion, and I mean that's pretty much what's known. It's none of the plot is known or anything, but it's been rumored for the past at least 2 or 3 years. I think I think it was rumored before the movie came out.
It was.
And they did open the exhibit area in front. So when you enter the pyramid, you have to go through like a little exhibit area. You go through the exhibits, and then you're in the main pavilion area where all the restaurants and shops are, and the boat ride is. And they did when the movie came out, they did alter the exhibit area to have some Coco themed exhibits. I know they had this cool little like kind of like a Connect.
People just lost their mind.
Yeah, they had like a like, you know how they had the like Connect 360 Iron Man experience. Yep. They kind of had that where you could be a skeleton and you take a picture of yourself as a skeleton. And that has kind of led the rumor towards the boat ride, because people are saying, well, maybe Disney's testing the water to see how popular this exhibit is. So here's kind of like another thing maybe they're testing the waters with. So Disney announced yesterday that Mariachi Cobre Presenta the Story of Coco is going to be a new show performing daily in the front of the Mexico Pavilion where the mariachi band is now. So I'm going to read this from the Disney Parks blog. Starting March 6th, the tender story and vibrant music of Disney Pixar's Coco comes to the Mexico Pavilion, courtesy of the incomparable Mariachi Cobre. So that's the mariachi band that's there already. So the immensely talented musicians of Mariachi Cobre are joined by a pair of folklorico dancers to tell the tale of Miguel Rivera, his love of music, and his journey to find what matters most, his familia. The dancers perform to the music of the film, pulling everyone into the celebration, and Miguel himself appears in the form of a whimsical, handcrafted puppet. That's that picture right there in the slide. This new Coco-inspired show expands the repertoire of Mariachi Cobre, who will also continue enchanting guests at the Mexico Pavilion with performances of traditional mariachi music. So that's pretty much it. I actually did not know. So I originally thought that the Mariachi Cobre, this is going to be like their sole show. So reading that right there, I'm actually happy that they have the Coco show, and then they have their standard Mexican music show that they perform a couple times a day too.
Yeah, for sure. That's good to hear that both are staying around like that.
So I
love the Coco thing.
Yeah, I like the puppet a lot. I think it was first introduced in Disneyland Paris when the movie came out, like a year or two ago, and then they brought it to DCA.
Yeah, DCA is where I remember it from.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of a little weird that, like, there's another guy, but I think, like, you couldn't do him as a costume.
No, I don't think it would look right
as
a costume. Plus, I mean, done right as a puppet, who cares? If it's a good looking puppet, it works.
Yeah, it looks good. So yeah, I'm excited. I think this is a good way to introduce the character to the pavilion, while
Definitely,
and
I
it's
agree.
not taking away from anything.
Yeah.
But like I said before, Disney may be testing the waters, see if this Coco show is popular, and if it is, maybe, just maybe, Coco will even have a greater presence in the Mexico Pavilion in the future. So with
Yeah,
that,
we'll see.
we're gonna head into our blue sky segment
Before
of the
that, there
podcast.
is the comment on Twitch there from Ed of Ebon Blade about how they think the first Coco attraction we'll see will actually be in DCA and take over the Little Mermaid as Pixar Pier expands.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Agreed. That is very bold.
That is a very bold statement.
I
But
could see it happening
I
in DCA, but I don't see Little Mermaid leaving anytime soon.
yeah, I they just built Little Mermaid, so I don't know. But you never know. I mean, honestly, Disney can do a lot of things.
Yes,
But
but I mean maybe, but that just seems
maybe
fast to take it out.
yeah, a little far fetched, but you never know. You never know. I mean,
Yes.
look, they redid Paradise Pier, and then how long? 8 years, 9 years later, uh, they redid it again, the Pixar Pier. So who knows? And that's a mess, anyways. But so we were gonna move to our blue sky segment now, and we were gonna blue sky
Yes.
Imagineer. How would you put Coco into Disney World, Disneyland, or any of the parks? And how would you, like, why and how, or no, how would you do it pretty much?
All right. Do you want to go first?
Um, sure, I can think of something real quick. And we
Well,
kind
if you
of we
don't have something, I can go first.
all right, you can go. Like we kind of do this, guys. So like we don't want to like plan stuff out. We kind of would just want to let the thoughts come to
Yeah, and I
us.
mean, feel free to share your ideas in the comments as well.
Yeah.
But so Grand Fiesta Tour, it's a great attraction, right? Kind of old, but the biggest problem with it is the queue. Over
Yes.
20 minutes, it's a mess.
Yeah. You
So
cannot fit many people
no,
in that queue. In 20
no,
minutes, I think it's more like 10.
yeah, it's not it's not long, and suddenly you're in the middle of the pavilion and the shops thing. So that won't work. Coco can't replace that. You demolish the whole pavilion by doing that. So what I'm thinking instead is that with because of the Frozen like Anna and Elsa meet and greet, they kind of expand the Norway pavilion towards China or towards Mexico, but only the front area. The whole back area there's still wide open.
Oh
So
yeah, that's a
why
good
not
idea.
why not give Mexico a second attraction? Keep the Grand Fiesta Tour, build a whole new Coco attraction in a large show building there, because you're not going to use that plot for a country expansion now. You have all sorts of room there.
Hmm. What about what if they just expanded the Mexico Pavilion, right?
Yep.
Kind of because I forgot about that. How they kind of wasted that plot and they only used half of it. They
Yeah, if
expand,
I have.
yeah, they expand that back portion. It's already hidden. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can expand the boat ride, right? Maybe they can change the station to be over in that new area, so the queue isn't in that corner anymore.
Oh, maybe.
And
Just
then they redo the boat
make a
ride.
small, yeah, make a small expansion just for like you,
I
so
mean, it
that,
can be a pretty large expansion,
yeah.
honestly. That can easily add a minute or two of ride time.
Oh,
It's
for sure.
yeah. So expand that way, and maybe they can um, move around the restaurant a little. Um,
Yep.
where the current station is. Maybe they can add more seating and move a little bit of the back of house stuff so a queue can enter from the right side of the pavilion. There's a new station in the new expanded part, and you have an extra minute or two to a Coco boat ride.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I think realistically, that's probably the easiest is just something like that because I think that's part of the reason we haven't seen Coco take over the Grand Fiesta Tour yet is because they know
Oh
queue
yeah,
would be a problem.
that's definitely. Uh, that is the biggest reason is that queue. There's no space for it.
Yeah.
So that's for Disney World. Did you have anything for Disneyland? I'm not really sure.
I mean, DCA makes sense, and I mean Pixar Pier makes sense, and so they were talking about Night of Ebon Blade is in the chat about an expanded Pixar Pier, talking about Spirit of Adventure for the Golden Zephyr there, Hot Dog Palace, what else? Nemo for the jumping jellyfish, because then they can also close the subs in Tomorrowland, which I mean, hey, that actually makes a lot of sense too, right? Just expand Pixar Pier all the way around, and then the Coco reskin for Little Mermaid, which still bold, but
yeah. So
with the rest of the stuff they've mentioned, it makes sense.
shells into sugar skulls. Actually, I could see that working.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, Coco did make a lot of money, so I think there is some interest.
Yes, definitely.
Either there at DCA or maybe there's a little kind of Mexican style ranch area of Disneyland and Frontierland, if I'm not mistaken.
There is, but
is there any space?
No, because on the other side of it is the train track, and on the other side of that is Small World, or not Small Worlds, where Star Wars is going.
Yeah. So I mean,
there's not.
They already have a show in DCA though, right?
Yes, they have a show in DCA just on the edge of Pixar Pier there. But unfortunately, on the other side of that restaurant, and it's a fairly small restaurant, quick service, on the other is a road, so there's no room to expand that.
That's rough.
Yeah.
There isn't as much space there as there is in Disney
they're
World.
very limited on space for a Coco attraction.
Yeah. So I guess DCA would be the way to go. Somewhere in that Pixar Pier.
Somewhere.
I can't believe I'm saying that, but yeah, that does seem like the best option. In Disney World, Mexico. I mean, people are against it, but I'm not too
I don't get why they're against it.
Yeah, for the countries, I'm not too against putting IPs in countries as long as they tie into the country well. You can't I'm not cool.
You can't say no to Coco, but you're okay with the Grand Fiesta Tour.
Yeah, I feel like Rapunzel to Germany would be kind of like a stretch. Something that really isn't representative.
In Italy would be.
Yeah.
Right, I mean that's where it came from, so that would be a fine one.
Yeah.
Coco is fine.
As long as it's representative of the culture, I think I'm fine with it. Future World is a totally different story.
Future World's a mess.
Yeah, that's where I'm against a lot of the IPs coming in, but that's another story for another time. So we have Disney World, Disneyland down. Disneyland Paris also kind of has that Mexican feel of the Frontierland, doesn't it?
Frontierland in Thunder Mesa, but they also have a Pixar area over in Walt Disney Studios Paris of Ratatouille, Toy Story, and a Cars flat ride sort of thing. So I mean, it could replace the Cars flat ride, go in there. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So if Pixar Pier gets expanded, the King of Ebon would leave two things: the Italian restaurant, which is close to where the Coco show is there now, Goofy Sky School. Um, so they were talking about a dark ride replacement for the restaurant. So I mean, honestly, dark ride replacement could be Coco, but I
Hmm.
don't know how much room you truly have unless you like take it out and like you build right up onto Goofy Sky School basically.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of room over there, and especially in that part of the park.
No, it is like the smallest area of the whole park.
Yeah, it's
The
cramped.
restaurant backs onto the road basically.
Yeah, and then you have
They
the
have
hotel on the other side where the Sky School
yeah,
is.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's yeah, you're just cornered in there, hotel or a road.
Yeah, but in Paris, I think it would work in Frontierland better. And I think they have some space to work with around there, especially
Yep, they
near
have
the
lots of space.
I think they still have a petting zoo there, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Over near Chaparral Theater, I think it's called.
yeah, and there's a whole big
Plus, there's a whole bunch of space over on the other side, beside Phantom Manor.
yeah. So I think they could definitely work something out there.
Yep.
And then I don't know, Hong Kong, Tokyo. I doesn't really matter. I mean,
Yeah,
that's not
I
our
mean,
expertise. I mean, they have space to work with, but I don't think Coco did too well there. I'm not.
yeah, I don't know, but I mean, OLC, if they want to make something, they'll just do it.
Yeah. So let's. I guess we can focus on. Why don't we just focus on Night of Ebon Blade's idea of the clamshells and then the Epcot boat ride, and let's see what. So how would you reconfigure that to a Coco
Hmm.
ride? Disclaimer alert: I've never really seen the entire movie. I've seen bits and pieces, and I kind of get the gist of it.
I mean, I saw the movie when it first came out, and I don't think I've seen it since. So I'm in this. I'm in the same boat here.
I know.
Like,
Would you do like just a retelling, or would you do some new adventure?
I always prefer new adventures than just like
Yeah,
a book report attraction.
same. I think that's the general way where all the attractions are going.
Yeah,
I mean, even Frozen is a new adventure. Even though it kind of rehashes the same themes and tunes, they're actually different songs for the most
right.
part.
Yeah,
Let It
it's
Go is the same, but and
like a weird mix.
yeah, it's a weird mix, but it works. It works. Um, Coco though, maybe I don't know. He wants to go back to the.
I see. It's actually not bad.
He's trying to
I
go
mean,
back to the. What's it called? The City of the Dead, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
he wants to do performance there or whatever. So he wants like people to come with him. Well, he figured out a way. I don't know, something like that. They could rehash that whole kind of mini small world scene inside
oh, yep.
Caballeros into kind of like a Day of the Dead thing.
Well, yeah, that'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would think it'd be more interesting if they did it as a new adventure based off how the movie ended than just, hey, remember that movie? Here's just it being retold on a boat ride.
Yeah. Well, at the end, he left. He went back to the real world. But didn't his grandfather, the famous musician, kind of turn bad in the end?
Oh, oh, I want to say yes, but I mean, it's been what 3 years since I watched the film.
Oof.
Oof, indeed.
Yeah, but I don't know, maybe he's trying to go back to the dead, city of the dead to put on a performance for his family or whatever. I don't know. It kind of seems a little bit unrealistic doing that, but I can't think of any other way to bring people back to the dead. Maybe, um, somehow they get sucked into like maybe they get into an accident or whatever on the boat ride, like, and then like they die, and then they come back to life. I don't know. They kind of play it like that, but I think that might be a little grim.
Yeah, I don't. I'm. I
You can
mean,
have a cool
I don't
pre-show
know.
sequence where like, um, you're like in a room, right?
Yep.
And like there's fake windows. Okay, this is getting a little grim, but there's fake windows. Then
Okay.
there's flames in the windows,
Okay. Whoa. All right. You're
and then
going dark here.
all the flames shut off, the light shut off, and it's just pitch black for like a second, and then there's like a white light, and the white light is like above the door, and the door opens, and, and something like that, and then you go onto your boat to the uh, City of the Dead, something like that. Because there's gonna be a really cool sequence there with like the bridge. What's the bridge made of? Of like all those golden like leaves.
Oh right. Yeah.
I
Can't think of the name.
There's some really cool visuals in that movie.
Yes.
If I was on a just any budget for like if this was a movie that made like a 1.5 billion dollars and Disney's like, okay, we're gonna do a land for this thing, I would do just like a whole indoor land, kind of like the Mexico Pavilion, but like Day of the Dead, and like there's like an entrance to
You could make that. You could even do an entrance like
with the bridge.
Yeah, exactly right. You could have so much fun with that. That'd look just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things, but it does seem like the boat ride somehow you're trying to get back to the City of the Dead because Miguel wants to perform for his family, and he figured out a way to get back there, like maybe on the Dia de los Muertos he can say something, whatever, who knows.
Yeah, and then I mean, you can have the concert scene be like that giant Small World one on the Grand Fiesta Tour now, where you know how like the three animatronics are on your left there. He could be up there to performing to everybody on your right.
Would you get rid of those screens throughout the ride? I mean, I would.
Yeah, they're lazy. I mean,
yeah, it works fine with the Caballeros, but if you were to rehash the entire ride with Coco, you would have to get rid of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's that for Little Mermaid. I guess we can do kind of like the same thing, similar wise. That scene at the very end.
Would you keep it as the Omni Mover? Would you just like retheme it from that point?
Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't change the layout of it or anything. It just is the Omni Mover. And then I like
you could even have it like, yeah. So you could have it as the under the sea scene, where it's just changed to a concert sort of thing instead.
Yeah. Well, the only problem with that is that that's kind of like in the middle of the ride. Don't you kind of want to concentrate?
It is.
Maybe that can be like the scene, like the day of the City of the Dead scene where you're just going around like the whole city. And
maybe.
Before that, it's kind of like the transition. There's like a bridge scene where like the
you're just
grotto
stuck
areas.
on this bridge.
Yeah, and then at the end where Ariel's dad is Neptune. It's not Poseidon, right?
Yeah, it's King Neptune.
Yeah. That's where maybe a concert is. I mean, there's only like one popular, like really popular song from that movie, and that's "Remember Me." So I'm assuming that would be played there. But
yeah,
I think
that's actually fair.
Yeah,
have it be that end scene there.
And I did like Night of Ebon Blade's idea with the crystal skulls acting as instead of the shells.
The sugar skulls, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good idea. That isn't too bad. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. the only thing that is just getting me... If Ariel was a 20, 30-year-old ride, maybe. But it's not even...
Exactly.
It's
too new.
I think...
It's what, 10 years?
10 years old, pretty much. Yeah.
Right, 10 years maybe this year.
Yeah, it's too new. But you never know. Disney's done weirder things in the past. But I think, guys, that wraps it up for tonight's podcast. So thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Be sure to join our Discord channel. It's really fun. We have a lot of fun on there with all our viewers. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and that's been that. So thanks everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next week at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Friday. Have a safe night, and thanks for watching.